Hello, welcome to Nutrition Injury Recovery. I'm Jimmy Capo Rodriguez, registered dietitian with UR Medicine Fitness Science. Today, we're going to learn about eating patterns for injury recovery, the impact nutrition plays, and how to maximize recovery. So, let's get started. Oftentimes, athletes think that they have to exclude food groups or have to eat very little in order to not gain weight. But actually, an athlete's energy demands increase by at least 10% when recovering. So instead of your body needing less food, it needs 10% more than what you normally need. There are a couple different phases to your recovery. First is the inflammation phase. This lasts for 2 to 4 weeks. This is when your body's most inflamed, when you've just come out of surgery or immobile from your injury. There are different nutritional strategies to maximize wound healing and minimize muscle atrophy, meaning muscle loss that will go over. Phase 2 is when you're more mobile and going through physical therapy, or maybe starting to work out a couple times a week, or introducing simple exercises. And depending on your injury, this can last anywhere from 4 weeks to a year before you get back to your sport. The first nutritional goal is to maintain balanced energy. You need to feed your heart, liver, kidneys, and lungs even at rest, because those organs are always working. But when we bring in stress like exercise, we're increasing our energy expenditure even more. We need to eat accordingly depending on the intensity. The same thing happens when you're injured. That's another stress on your body, and that means you have to increase your calories by at least 10% to counteract that stress and to accelerate your recovery. So we have to understand that injury and exercise are both stressors on the body, and you need extra calories for maximum support. It's important not to exclude foods or skip meals. That's a big take-home message here. By excluding food groups, you could be deficient in key vitamins and minerals that are needed for maximum healing. The second goal is to maximize muscle protein synthesis, which will help minimize muscle loss. There's specific protein intake that you need to reach an anabolic state, which repairs the muscle tissue. And that's why we have to feed our bodies throughout the day with quality protein, quality carbs, quality fats to maximize that anabolic process and protein synthesis. An example day for this diet to cover protein needs would be breakfast include one of the 3 main high protein foods. For example, 3 eggs with nuts, dairy, or soy product. Another example could be 1 cup of Greek yogurt, nuts, and protein powder. A smoothie with protein powder and milk or soy milk. For lunch, half a cup of chicken salad or tuna salad, 5 to 7 turkey slices, or another smoothie with protein powder and milk or soy. For snacks, focus on protein-rich foods like low-fat cheese, nuts and seeds, yogurt, soy milk, a protein bar or powder. For dinner, an animal protein with a portion of about a 1 palm size, a soy product, or a smoothie with a protein powder. A late evening snack, focus on, again, those high-rich foods like cottage cheese and yogurt. The third goal to help your body heal faster is to include certain nutrients like zinc, vitamin C, calcium, and rich foods, among others. These foods include fruits and vegetables such as melons, citrus, fruits, kiwis, tomatoes, and green leafy vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, animal protein, and dairy. If you're taking pain medications, side effects include lack of appetite, nausea, or constipation. So you have to include foods rich in fibers such as fruit, non-starchy vegetables like greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. If you have a lack of appetite or feel nauseous, typically for a few days after surgery, you might need to eat more frequently during the day in small amounts. Next, I'd like to talk about eating patterns and why are they important. Eating patterns create an eating routine which is efficient in releasing hormones and enzymes, which is better for digestion and provides better nutrient absorption. This means you're eating at specific time throughout the day. Let's say you eat breakfast between 8 and 10 every day, lunch from 12 to 2, and dinner 5 to 7. Your body releases hormones and digestive enzymes even before you take in food So when you eat, you maximize the absorption. Eating patterns are critical because they control cravings. For example, if you skip a meal one day, your appetite randomly increases during different times in your eating pattern, and you tend to eat things that give you a quick energy, like salty or sugary snacks that are high in those empty calories. It's easier to get those nutrient goals when you follow a consistent eating pattern. For example, if you have 100 grams of protein that you need to target for each day, you would split those throughout your eating pattern between breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I recommend eating within a 12-hour period. Why 12 hours? Your liver functions best with 12 hours rest. Your liver is in charge of metabolism and breaking down food for the most part. So you want to eat inside a 12-hour window, eating every 3 to 4 hours to keep our bodies in the anabolic state. In the longest gap between meals, you could add a snack. So choose your eating pattern according to your unique schedule. The recommended pattern is at least 3 meals and 2 snacks, including all fruit groups, carbohydrates, protein, and fats. Those are the main food groups, and we want to make sure we include all of them in our diet. Anti-inflammatory carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, and they are high in fiber. These foods are whole grains, fruits, and quality starchy vegetables like potatoes with the skin. With protein, it's the same thing, 4 calories per gram. We're not talking about sausages and bacon and pepperoni. We're talking about chicken, pork, beef, eggs, and turkey. Other plant-based foods that contain high protein are beans, legumes, and soy. A key factor in protein is leucine, an amino acid responsible for protein synthesis. Within the fat group, we should always try to avoid those that cause inflammation like fried foods. Let's include instead those that have anti-inflammatory properties like omega-3s found in fish, flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, and almonds. Whole grains, fruits, and quality starches are your 3 key carbohydrates for recovery. Nutrient-dense versus those that lack vitamins and minerals, which ultimately have higher calories and higher sugar content, which also causes inflammation. You want to choose oatmeal, granola, high-fiber cereal, and popcorn over Pop-Tart, cookies, and high-sugar cereals. Choose starchy vegetables like potatoes with the skin versus French fries. Choose beans and lentils over, TV dinners, fried rice, and noodles. Choose whole fruits versus fruit bars that have a lot of added sugar. Carbohydrates indirectly affect your wound healing and your protein synthesis because they allow proteins and amino acids to do their thing. If you exclude carbohydrates, now your body uses protein that you're eating to maintain your liver functioning, your kidneys, your heart and lungs, instead of sending those proteins and amino acids to the muscle. And that's what you want. So by eating carbohydrates, you let protein work more efficiently. Carbohydrates also prevent your body from increasing cortisol. Muscle synthesis gets affected. It decreases muscle loss because when you eat carbohydrates, insulin gets released. Insulin creates an anabolic state which stores carbohydrates in glycogen form within your muscles. And when you do that, your muscles are getting the glycogen that they need. But also protein is getting in there and repairing and preventing muscle atrophy as well. So again, insulin is an anabolic hormone, and we need to increase that with quality carbohydrates. So that way protein gets utilized the right way. If you exclude carbs, testosterone levels decrease as well. And that is also responsible for muscle synthesis. Consistent protein intake to maximize healing is important. And you want to aim for anywhere from 20 to 35 grams per meal. During the first phase of inflammation and wound healing, you need a lot more protein, at least 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. When you become more mobile, such as when starting a physical therapy rehab program, now you bring the protein down to at least 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. It's important, at least for the inflammatory phase, to hit that goal and say, okay, I got to make sure I get at least 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For the fat group, the type of fat is the most important factor. choosing those that are rich in omega-3s and plant oils found in nuts and seeds. Including one type of healthy fat with every meal should be a goal. It could be nuts and seeds, fish, avocados, or olive oil. Also, including fats in your meals maximizes important nutrient absorption, such as vitamin A, D, K, and E, which are fat-soluble vitamins that need fat in order to be absorbed. And these fats have anti-inflammatory benefits during your recovery. So for snacks, choose a handful of nuts rather than sweets. The overall goal is to limit fried and saturated fats like those found in bacon, pepperoni, sausages, and incorporate more of the plant-based fats such as seeds, nuts, avocado, plant oils, and fish. Lastly, remember to avoid alcohol. Alcohol really impairs muscle synthesis, so we have to completely exclude alcohol during the recovery phases. To recap, aim for a well-balanced diet with a consistent eating pattern around your preferred schedule. Eating all meals and snacks within a 12-hour time frame, not going 4 or more hours without eating. Aim for specific nutrient intake, especially for the inflammation phase where anti-inflammation foods are most helpful and protein synthesis is at its max. We want to make sure we get at least 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. We learned a little bit about the effects of carbohydrates and how they indirectly affect protein synthesis and recovery. Remember to be selective with the carbohydrates instead of excluding them from the diet. Focus on whole grains, starchy vegetables like beans and potatoes with the skin, fruits, and plenty of non-starchy vegetables. And then focus on the healthy fats to also promote anti-inflammation. Thank you once again. I'm Jimmy Capo Rodriguez, registered dietitian with UR Medicine Fitness Science. Here's my contact information if you have any questions or comments, and I look forward to helping you through your recovery journey.